Okay, so in this exercise we'll be adding getters and setters to a class, and we'll do that by refactoring an existing code base and adding them to it. We'll see the benefits of this sort of encapsulation. We'll see reducing code complexity. We'll see how it's improving code readability, reducing code bugability, as I call it, and improving code testability, which is always key to me. And overall, it's going to be doing an approach like this is going to ultimately be speeding up changes for the business, which is always a great thing, of course. Alright, let's get refactoring. Alright, so here's our code here. Let's run our tests, of course. Make sure that everything's good before we can refactor. And here's our app code. Here's a node. And then here's index. Here's our test code, which includes index. And there's node. And then index itself also has node, which is a little confusing. So I think we need to pre-factor here before we even get started to clean this up a little bit. It's just left over from using templates. So we can create a new file, but we don't need to because we've already got, as you can see, node here, code that wasn't actually being used. So let's paste in the code that was being used and get rid of all of that. Okay, let's save that. Alright, and now let's go to what was called index. Yep. And we'll rename that to be tree, because that's basically going to be what it is, just the tree class. So we'll go down here and we'll get rid of that node stuff, and we don't need to export that anymore. So we'll just leave tree. Okay. And let's just make sure. Yep, tests are failing as you expect. And alright. So here's node, and you notice one thing we're not doing here is exporting it. So let's put that in. So let's take a look at how we do it for tree, module.exports. So let's just use the same format here. So module.exports equals, let me do it here, use the curlies, not sure if we need to, but let's follow the same format. Okay, so now that should be able to be imported. Or required, actually, of course. And we'll change the two names here. This one is tree, and the next one is now node. So we know we're really using that code. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Yes, nice. Alright, so we got that going. Now, the purpose of this exercise is to do getters and setters. So let's actually start now. We've done the prefactor. To do those. So get the attribute name, so it's name, and we'll just start off by returning it, and we'll try just to hide it, just to use the underscore protected name, private name. And while we're at name, let's do left and right. Things we're just doing the same thing. We'll make these little one-liners. You'll see why get name is a two-liner in a second. So we'll make these just simply return, make left and right, return left and right. Right, okay. So that's those two with semicolons. And let's just see how we're doing here, okay. Well, okay, 10 and 11, 33, so inside this block here, we need a little semicolon for the space. Alright, so let's set property name of node, which only has a getter. So that's good. That's actually showing us this in action. We've got a getter, but we don't have a setter, so it's already protecting us. That's the whole point of this exercise. So we'll set up our setter here for name, and we'll say, setters are pretty simple. We pass in the name, and we're going to set this dot name equals name. So there's the setter, and same for left. Well, we'll do that while we're at it. So this dot left equals left, and let's complete it by doing right. So the setter for right, pass in right, and this dot right equals, guess what, right. Looks like we missed off the left. It's supposed to also be left here. Okay. Thank you, editor. Although I didn't recognize it. What do we got going on here? Something's not quite. Let's just run the tests. Ooh. Okay, I definitely messed this up because I didn't use the private underscore. So let's put those underscores in for all these ones here. And let's see what that does. Nice, excellent. Okay. So we've got some protected stuff going on, which is good. Now let's show how this could, also be used and expanded on. So we wanted to do something with this. We wanted to capitalize for our getter. So we want to leave that nice and simple up there, but now we have a method that we could reuse. We pass in a string and do a fairly, what is somewhat standard to me now, take the first character, make it to uppercase, and then add in, using our lovely new, so we'll split into an array, every single character, whoops, and then we use splice of 1 to give us the rest of the array, except for the 0, and then we'll join it back together. And so we do all of that, and we get our uppercase string. Get our spacing, indenting right. And so that gets called from here. And to actually see if this is, to see it in action, we actually have to change something to be lowercase, one of the country names. Boom, it worked, nice. Alright, so we've got capitalized, good. Now what about these default parameters here, which will give us extra code paths? Let's try, make sure that we need that, yep. So without it, it fails. And make sure with it, it passes, yep. Alright, so let's try getting rid of it, and we could now, we could put that functionality within here. So either the name or a null for the name and the left, and the same thing for the right, except that these are actually the setters. Sorry, I need to do this on the on the getters, not the setters. Let me back that out. Okay. So let me pull the setters down actually and put them down below. Okay. So on the getter for left, this is where we're going to put that or null string. Okay. Alright, and now we can get rid of this, which it would fail if it wasn't doing it down below. So now we've got that there. Put that space in and see if we're good. Excellent. So that's good. And so now we have our getters and setters here with our extra method that's doing that, and we've got our tree class nicely separated out. Same for node as well. I think we're good to go. All right.